Hi everyone, N.A.T here, and in this video I'm going to show you how I start a track in Ableton Live. Know that this is a very personal thing, so I'm making this video just for fun, honestly, and you can tell me how you like to start a track as well. What's your method? What's your template? So, um, let's just hit this off. First of all, first thing to note, I have a template I made, which is just a drum rack, a synth group, and then a resampling, so I can resample and create cool stuff with resampling. A reference channel, which I use to just play parts, clips of a song that I cut perfectly, so they are always like a section, a particular section I'm interested in hearing, and then I have this current channel, which just is basically when I work in a session. I work in a session and I save it as the day of as the date with the date of the day I worked this session in, if the grammar makes sense. I hope it does. And whenever I work on it the next day or the next day after, I I always keep the last version in this channel, which could be called, I guess, last version, so to speak. So, and I also have a very simple, like a limiter mapped. I have a lot of things mapped, so I can immediately turn it on if I need to maximize the track right away. Yeah, so the way I like to start a track, I like to start from drums, honestly, because it's fun. So I select a kick drum, and I'm going to select this kick drum I just created in the previous session, in the previous sound design session. Let's just use this kick drum here. And I use session view to sketch out my first rhythms, my first clips. And I also use a launchpad, as you can see here. I have fun using it, honestly, to launch clips. It's fun. Let's go ahead and listen. A very 4-on-the-floor pattern. And then I just add other sounds. I just add claps. Let's go ahead and add claps from my today's sound design sessions. This one is cool, but I feel like using this one. So, cool thing about Ableton Live 12 is I can open up the drum rack view underneath the MIDI, which is amazing. So, I drop the clap, and I usually like to name it to give, so I don't get lost, you know. So clap 1, just like this, clap 1, and then I draw some notes. Let's listen for the volume of this. And actually, so the clap is too high, so I lower the volume right away to -14. Much better. But also, I will turn on, just for you, I won't do this right away usually, but just so you can hear my voice and the sounds at the same level, I'm going to maximize this right now at 0 decibels. So let's do this. Very good. Okay, so I will fix the clap sound very quickly just by offsetting it a bit. And by the way, I start at 128 beats per minute. I feel comfortable in that range. Nice. Good. Actually, let's try some other. Usually I'm very precise on how to place these claps, because with drums it's important to place the drums to give them groove, but also to place them carefully, because you're gonna lose or gain punch depending on where you place them. in a lot of Deadmau5 songs, you will also hear him having claps kind of displaced from beat to beat to make, I don't know, give more groove, I guess. But to me, it's fine to just... Okay, like this is fine, but I'd also like to add some side chaining on the clap, just to make the kick not lose that much punch. I stolen the sidechain from the synths group here. I copied it from there, so it already is routed to my sidechain trigger, which is playing with the kick. Nice. Let's dial it down. Not feeling like this is the right sample, but whatever, this is just a demonstration. So also a little EQ, just to try it. Not really anything to EQ here, but rather maybe we should gate this clap, this reverb a little bit. Okay, then I add some hats, and I like to play around with the rhythm of these hats. I still haven't created new hats. I have, I guess, old hats. Let's use this one. I like to start from just one hat and just to place it and play around. Like, I don't like to go like this because it's too stale, too boring. Let's close this, actually. Okay. And let's also adjust the volume of this. Now, I'm going to do one thing which might cost me this video to be unmonetized for the future when I will monetize these videos. But I have actually here, as you can see, these black reference tracks. These are just the beginning of these tracks, where apart from this, which is my song, these two here. Basically just the beginning of the extended mix. I use this because you only hear the drums there, and so I use them as reference to kind of balance the sounds, to make sure I'm not creating an unbalanced mix. For example, the hi-hat here, it's still too high for me. Like this, sounds better, but let's reference to this track Selecta, you know, by Afrojack and Quintino, which might be quite loud. Let's see just the meter and my master. Yeah, let's put it down like 2 decibels, and it should be at the right reference, at the right level for reference. Let's hear it. Okay, sounds like, obviously my samples are completely different. I created my samples myself, so they have different spectrum balance. But as far as volume, it sounds like we're there. Good. So as I said, I don't like to use this stale pattern. I like to play around with the hi-hat. So let's do this. And actually, to elongate it right away, create some difference, like this. Let's try. That's cool. It's a little random, but it's cool. Let's also gate this hi-hat. Okay, I like it. Then I like to add another hi-hat. So let's see where my other hi-hats are. Old BC perhaps. Drums, yeah. Cymbals, hi-hats. What is this? These are kind of strange. Oh, here. Okay, here I have a lot of hi-hats. This one, from my song Blackout. Let's use this one. And again, as you can see, it's better to, I like to rename these right away. So hat 1 and hat 2. And let's just see if we can get, maybe I like to duplicate this so I create a variation that I can play with. And let's play around with this hi-hat. I like it to either complement this or to have a completely different pattern, maybe more dense. Let's try. Let's try going like this. Too high, obviously. Let's fade it out. Nice, but let's use some side chaining here. I have this preset I created that kind of mimics side chaining. Cool, cool, cool. And then let's use some EQ because I hear that this hi-hat has some weird frequencies. Now it's clean. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Nice. So this will be kind of the beginning. So I have something here that I can play with as far as drums. You know, I can go like this. Okay, and then I just like to drop some synths. So I like to use Silent 1 as my starting synth usually. So let's just go ahead and use Silent 1. And again, I'll just create some patterns here in session view. And let's also color this. Oh, no, actually I like to color after I create some sounds so the colors match the sound, so to speak. But let's create a pattern. Or actually, I like to use my MIDI keyboard, which you can't see because it's enormous and it's underneath the table. But yeah, so this. And I like to start from low notes, and in order to do this, actually, I need to quit hoping won't mess up the recording. I need to quit my Sound ID reference software because it gives me too much latency, and now I can kind of play. So I just let the drums play. And then play some notes here, or maybe first do some sound design. So I don't know, I like to open it up like this. And let's actually use a note. That's G, for example. It's a great note for bass in electronic music. I'm using kind of, I don't know, the Matrix breakbeat type of rhythm. Let's play this. Oops, sorry. Great. And now I already have my sidechain mapped here on my keyboard mapping, so I can turn it on for the synths, and let's hear it with the sidechain. That's kind of cool, right? Now I will adjust the volume of this by listening to my reference tracks as well. But I can already hear that it kind of needs to be lower like this. I like the sound of it. Nice. I could now, what can we do? I can add another oscillator. an octave up and maybe like this, or 2 octaves up. Let's hear how this sounds. Nice. And let's use a low pass filter. Maybe I need more side chaining, a longer slope. So as you can hear, it's already becoming kind of magic, you know? And I put OTT right away on the sound because it makes it sound cooler right away. Then I created kind of a turnaround. So let's do this. Let's duplicate this. Let's duplicate it a couple times, and then I created turnaround at the end. So a couple notes going differently, basically. Like this. Nice. And if I don't want them to overlap too much, I can turn down the polyphony to like 3. Trying some modulation with an envelope could be cool. Okay, I like the vibe of this. Then I like to add some other synthesizer. So to create some kind of other texture, you know, just to add something else, which is important when you switch between sections in the song. So I don't know, just very quickly, let's create something strange like this. Chords sound cool with this sound. So let's see what kind of chords we can add here. Nice, right? This is super easy, I know, but definitely worth playing around, you know. Now let me record this actually. Oops. You have to press kind of the record at the right time, but it sounds cool. And let's quantize this. Where's the quantize section? I kind of get lost with this new Where the hell is the quantize? I found it. So start and end transform. Okay. And then setting the volume right away. It's important of these elements so they don't clash with each other. First, setting the volume. So this is kind of a background sound, I guess. More airy, more in the background. So I'm going to check if it needs to be lower in volume. Okay, and then I'm going to see if it needs some EQing. Nice. Now let's change pattern with the drums. These hi-hats sound now a little stale, so let's add some reverb. Nice. Okay, now very quickly we have very little elements here. I could, by the way, let's give this stuff a color like this. I like this one. Okay, and let's create an effects group very quickly. So copying the side chaining in the effects group just in case I need it, and giving it the usual key for keyboard mapping. And let's use just a sampler to, or a simpler or whatever, to trigger my usual effect. Where is it? Oh, I don't have it right now, but I had an effect which I created in a video. Damn, let me find it. Okay, so I found the sample. I meant this one, which is very low in volume now, so let me just drop it here and put it up in volume so you can hear it. It's a riser slash downlifter effect I created, and I show how I create this sound in a video called How I Make a Riser Downlifter Effect. So let's just put it in the track so you can have a little bit of a transition, you know. Okay, length here to 8, maybe. This set to 1 shot. Nice. Yeah, you know, something like that. Then also I found actually this sound from another song, which I can use to make kind of the a transition at the end of the drum pattern. Something like this. Yeah, very simple. I like simplicity. And then finally, for this for a starting idea, I like to do this. I like to play around with these clips while I record and see kind of what I can get. So let's start recording. Let's start recording in arrangement view. let's start with these clips. So I'll just hit record, and I will play around with the synthesizer here, maybe with the cutoff. It's important to have some macros you can play around with, really change the sound in an interesting way. That's important, or else you will feel stale, I guess. But depends again on your style. I'll play around actually using my MIDI controller here, the MIDI fighter twister. Let's go ahead then. Something like this, you know, there were some strange things happening, some things offset. I will adjust them, but as you can hear, I've already created kind of the intro, then a breakdown session, and so, and then I will save this. I would mix and master it a little bit. For example, very quickly just putting an OTT on the master, literally. So let's do this right now. And high pass filter also makes it sound cool, clean. Alright, so I have already kind of mixed and mastered it a little bit, just the foundation, and then I would export this. I would actually give this track a name. So, and how do I name it if it's just a starting, you know, if it's a starting point? I would actually, so this is my method for naming tracks. Usually you name stuff like bad beat number 1, bad beat number 3, 4, 5, track, you know, with these, you give tracks these names that you just can't remember, then you can't reference to which track was which. So I like to, even if I don't have a name in mind, I like to just give them an arbitrary name. So and also I put the BPM and the key of the track, just for reference. So I just look around and I don't know, brown wall or sky wall, you know, because I used these colors here. I know they're not blue colors, but whatever. Let's call it sky wall. So sound palettes is the folder where I save my song ideas, and sky wall. I like to use, usually, you know, a brown wall. I like to use a color and a name of something, which just makes it more rememberable, I guess. Even not always, but let's just use sky wall this time, and 128 bits per minute, as I said. Or actually, I usually put the key first. So let's put the key first, which is G in this case. And I have saved my first version of this track. And the last thing, I will export it so I can listen back to it. When exporting tracks, it's better to use 32 bit depth, not use normalized because it's already doesn't make any difference. It's already maximized, and export it in the project itself. So I go into project and use where was I? Sound palettes, okay, and date modified skywall, and export it here. Shouldn't take very long, so I can also show you what I do with this exported track. I do two things. So first of all, I go in the project here, current project, and then I play it in Finder, so it gets uploaded in my music application here. And I can listen back to it immediately, reference it in my car, whatever. And then I just put it in that here, in that current channel I was talking about before. So next day that I make changes to this track, I would save the project again, another version. For example, tomorrow will be, I don't know, 13 of September, so I will call it 13 of September, and save and work on this. And when I work on it, I will export again the next version and put it in here. So each time I open a project, I can hear the latest version that I worked on for reference. Okay, so let's listen back, by the way, to what we've done so far, just for fun, I guess. Let's also use some fancy stuff to kind of see what's going on. Like, where is it? Uleon master, even though track will, I guess it probably won't be louder than 10, -10 LUFS, and span to see kind of the spectrum balance. Let's go ahead. So many things, by the way, that block the view of the waveform itself. Damn. So let's go like this. Oh my god. How do I? Okay. Sound is too wide here. I will fix that in the next session. As I said, around -10 UFS. Spectrum balance is not bad though. Those claps need to be saturated. That effect is kind of random. Yeah, so that was a nice, fun little track we created, and I showed you how I basically start a track in Ableton. Then I would create more, I call them sound palettes, basically. So I will create more of these ideas, song ideas, these sound palettes, and then later choose the ones that caught my ear the most and continue working on them. Alright, so I hope this was fun for you. Let me know how you start a track, if this was of any inspiration as well, and let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. See you next time.